Hey everybody, we're back. If you're new, thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon, that's Yaya. Click that subscribe button, please. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. Y'all, today we are going to finally go over the face palette collection that I have. So this collection, they have to have at least a blush, highlighter, and bronzer in the face palette. If there's extra stuff, then great, but there has to at least be that much. So it's not gonna be like a palette that has some blushes and highlighters. No, you have to have a highlighter, blush, bronzer to be able to make it into the cut of this video. I have my collection over here. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all, so I pulled out some face palettes that have not made it into this drawer because they were in these drawers here. You know, if you watched my last video, these are my makeup junk drawers that I've started to go through and post things on Poshmark too. But these were in there, so they haven't made it into this section here. And this is where I keep pretty much all of my face palettes. And then I have some in my desk, and then I have some right here also. But this is the bulk of them right there. Okay, y'all, we came down here with all of the face palettes because the room is clean and I don't want some people to dirty the room up. So we're down here. This is my little workstation. I normally sit on the floor. I use this tray to hold my laptop and I edit videos and stuff, and I can sit right there with the kids. I normally just sit right here. I have my plug there, and then I can watch the TV over here. But that's not what this video is about. We are going to get into all of these face palettes here. Let's start over here. Not everything fits in this container, and some of these things like this I keep in my desk. This one down here I keep in my desk. This was in the junk drawers because I haven't used them yet. So not everything goes in this container, but I went and I grabbed all of the different face palettes that we have. Let's jump into this one. And I feel like honestly with this lighting, you're really getting an idea of what these shades actually look like. This was from Tarte. I think I got it from Sephora. You have bronzers here, you have some setting powders, and you also have a blush. This was a TJ Maxx find. I don't remember how much I paid for this, probably $24 or something, but she is freaking gorgeous. I need to start using her. I honestly will, I'm not even gonna lie, I had it in this container and I forgot I actually even had this one, but she is pretty. Let me just, I just have to, oh, they're so creamy too. Look at that. Look at that. It's like a pinky highlighter. I'm not one for pinky highlighters, but this one is actually really pretty. This one I got in my first Boxy Luxe, and I was so excited to get this. It does smell like chocolate, but you have a shimmery bronzer here. You have some other bronzers or contours, however you want to use them. And then you have some lighter shades that you can use to set under your eyes. But I love, love, love it. I was so happy when I got this. This one makes the cut because it is literally a full face, do-it-all palette. This is the Hindash palette. You have no shimmers in this at all, but you do have browns for bronzers, contours, setting powders, blushes over in here. You can also use all of these as eyeshadows. I use this to do my brows. I also use this instead of using a liner. I am obsessed with this palette. I did a video on it. It'll probably be out after this video, but this is, the more I use this, the more I am literally in love with this palette. This was that Urban Decay Naked Skin. I used this one a lot. You have two darker bronzers, a setting shade, and then a highlighter. This is more pinky. And then on this side, you have creams, but I didn't actually use the creams very often. I was never, looks like I've actually never used any of them, and I just swatched this one. I didn't like this side, but I did clearly like this side. This one is so old. I'm gonna open it and you're gonna be like, ew, you're disgusting, because it's so nasty. But these are creams, so you can see like I have brush hairs stuck in here, but you have highlighters, concealers, blush, bronzer, everything in this palette. And this was one of my favorite palettes for a while. And I had a makeup board. It was actually just a cookie sheet, but I would stick my stuff on there. I had the cookie sheet on the wall, and then I'd stick this on there like that. This is Milani face palette that I got at Walmart. You have highlighter, bronzer, the middle row all eyeshadows, and then here you have blushes. Just beautiful. These are, let me see, this one is light to medium, so it's those shades there. And then this one is the medium to deep, so darker shades there. Sorry about the glare, but I haven't used it. They're gorgeous, but I haven't used them yet. Let's go ahead and get into this. This was the Tarte Trio. 2 out of 3 of them made the cut. The other one was, I think it was all 3 blushes, so that did not make the cut here. But This one, if you have bronzer, blush, and highlighter. These were cute. I did a video on these. I don't know if they still sell them though. And then this one, I felt like this could be a bronzy shade for some people. So technically, this is 2 blushes and a highlighter, but this is a little bit more of a deep. So I'm throwing it in there. It may or may not count in the whole grand scheme of things, but the other one was 3 blushes, so that definitely didn't count. Okay, let's just start on this side and keep it going. Y'all know I have talked about this a number of times in other videos. This is one of my all-time favorite face palettes. I didn't even know I had a love for face palettes until this. This is the Becca Chrissy Teigen collab. I got this at Sephora. I think it was 50, 60 bucks or something. It was not a cheap palette at all, but you have 2 beautiful highlighters here. This bronzer looks gorgeous on me, and the blush is just, it's gorgeous also. This was a TJ Maxx find, Cover FX. It was only $12.99. I think when I looked these up, they are like 50 bucks or something. These are not cheap. Y'all know Cover FX is not a cheap brand, but this one is gorgeous. You have a highlighter, contour, it's a finishing powder, blush. This is a really deep blush, more highlighter, more highlighters. So just big mirror. I didn't take the plastic off and you can see my camera there, but big mirror, heavy duty plastic packaging, but still very heavy duty. Just, it was pretty. And for $12, you can't pass that up, especially Cover FX, because the quality is just there with them. We have the Becca Sunsetter palette. I got this when we were in Anaheim visiting, on $20 for this one in TJ Maxx. So excited that I was able to find this one. Still haven't used it, haven't swatched it or anything, y'all. This is what she looks like. I honestly do not understand how Becca is going out of business. It's so sad to me. But anyway, you have a bronzer, you have highlighters, you have some blushes. I haven't swatched it. I just need to store. Let's just do this one because oh, look at this. Okay, let's do the bronzer too, because sheesh, why not? Okay, that's what those look like. I don't know how well that bronzer is going to show up on me, but hopefully it looks better on my face than it does my arm. The highlighter is pretty though. I'm glad I got this. Either way, I'm happy I got this, because y'all know after I got this palette here, I just definitely became a fan of Becca, like a full fan, and of the Becca Chrissy Teigen collabs. I am all for all of those. Just super sad that it's gone. This one is actually the same palette as this. I got this one at Sephora, but I found this at TJ Maxx for $20, and because I love the palette so much, I bought a backup, because for the price you can't beat it, but also if Becca's going out of business, then you better have a backup now, because you're not going to get it later. And if you do get it later, then it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. This was one of my favorite travel palettes for a very long time. Clearly, you can tell for a very long time because I've hit pan here. This is the Urban Decay Flushed, and they have a bunch of these. This was another one of those things that I had put on a cookie sheet or whatever, but this one is gorgeous. This highlighter is one of my all-time favorite highlighters. It just shows up so pretty, and this light pink shade just gives you the prettiest flush of color ever. But Urban Decay has a few different flushed palettes. So here's the Urban Decay Cherry, which is similar concept. But I guess this doesn't technically fit into our theme because there's 2 highlighters and a blush. So this doesn't actually count, but it kind of counts because it's a face palette, but it doesn't meet our criteria. Let's put it that way. But I think I got this at, I don't know, Sephora or something, but she's pretty, and I love these little trio concepts that Urban Decay has. There's another one in here. This one, I got it was on sale. I don't know where I got it, but I guess this kind of doesn't actually fit into our categories either. It just happens to be in this bin because you have, I don't even know, are these all just highlighters? It looks like I've never even used this at all. I've literally never even swatched it, so that's I'm kind of a loser for that. Let's swatch it now and see. Even though this does not fit into our theme, we'll check it out anyway. Yeah, because these are all highlighters, dude. These are freaking all highlighters. This definitely does not fit into what we have going on. Oh, but they are pretty. Those are nice, y'all. Okay, not mad at it, but definitely doesn't fit in this video, so I'm sorry there. Okay, let's start from the back and work our way forward. This is the Coco collection by Kylie Cosmetics. So I guess Kourtney Kardashian's face palette here, but she is pretty. It's cardboard. I will say that. It's cardboard, but it says Chloe right here. Really cute. And if you didn't know, Coco over there, her name is actually Chloe. So This could kind of be her palette. Yeah, you're Chloe. That's your real name. Anyway, back to this palette, y'all. She is gorgeous. You have a blush, 2 highlighters, a bronzer. This blush is really pretty. I can tell that I've used this bronzer a few times. I think at one point I was kind of using this palette regularly, and then I guess I just kind of forgot about her, but she is pretty. And then we have this, I think I got this in a Boxycharm or something. I completely forgot I even had this. She's pretty, but I don't use her. I'm gonna do a decluttering video soon. This will probably be something that I end up decluttering because I don't know, I'm not drawn to this. It's pretty, but I completely forgot I even had that. We have this purr. I think this was definitely a TJ Maxx buy. Or no, this wasn't. This was a pop-up. I got this from the Boxycharm pop-up. So it looks like you have, I'm assuming this is supposed to be like a setting powder for under your eyes. I don't know because that would not work for me. But this, very pretty bronzer, very pretty blush, and then a nice highlighter with it. They're creamy. Yeah, I guess this is like a setting powder. Shows up pretty sheer. It's a little bit deeper than I would like for myself. Okay, yeah, now I remember this palette, y'all. So when you look at it, this says translucent setting powder, but it's like, it's all backwards. So it's supposed to be a translucent setting powder, a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter, but they had it labeled backwards. So that's what that is. Anyway, that may end up going on Poshmark when it gets decluttered too, because I don't really use that. This, maybe TJ Maxx, but you have a blush, highlight, bronzer. I really like this product, and you know, or this brand, and you can find this brand at Costco also. So keep that in mind. It's fairly cheap at Costco. I've seen their lip kits there before. This is Vanity Makeup. I got this as an add-on from Boxycharm. It's just a bronzer, concealer, highlighter thing. I talked about this in my last Boxycharm Ipsy video. I'll link that video below. But it was only like $7 or $8. It was really cheap compared to the price they actually charge you from their website. So I was like, oh yeah, because I definitely wanted to try this one. And then we have this little Stila. I think this came in a set with some other stuff, maybe a lippy or something. But you have a bronzer, a blush, highlighter. I think I really love this highlighter at one point because you can tell it looks kind of used up there. This is really pretty. I should use this more often. And I love Stila so much. And then Hourglass, I got this in one of the VIB sales. This was like a splurge for me because this was not cheap. Y'all know Hourglass is not cheap at all. But you have a translucent setting powder, a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. And just the formula that Hourglass has, their packaging is absolutely beautiful. I feel like you cannot go wrong. If I could start finding like Hourglass in TJ Maxx, I would like go crazy. Look at that. Look at that. Just so pretty. The lighting is probably not that great to show you how actually beautiful it is, but it is pretty. This is Kiko Milano. I got this at TJ Maxx for $5.99. I kind of remember this palette, but I kind of don't. Okay, this is what that palette looks like. Kind of reminds me of a Nars palette I have, I think, but you have 2 bronzers up here, a highlighter, and then look at these blushes. Look at this red. It's so bright, but like, don't be scared. It's just like Nars is Exhibit A. I didn't buy it for years because I was scared of that shade, and then I got it and I was like, what have I been missing out on my whole life? But look at that red. I'm flipping y'all off. I'm sorry, y'all. Look at that beautiful wash of color there. I need to use this more, but I forgot I even had it, honestly. Then this is my Nars Stephen Klein palette. This is like one of those do-it-all type of palettes. You have a translucent setting powder. You have bronzers here. I think one is Laguna and one is, what is the other one? Paloma is the other one. Then you have all of these blushes. This was not a cheap palette, but considering you're getting all of this, and you know, Nars is not cheap when you're buying those blushes individually, this is actually well worth the price there. And then the last one is another Nars palette. This was from TJ Maxx. $30 for this, y'all. This was not, y'all know I don't spend $30 on a palette, but I do have an obsession for Nars, and $30 for a Nars palette, and you're getting, again, all of these things that are normally $30 to $40 for just one, you know, that is actually a really good deal. The weird thing about this palette, though, is the texture. They feel dry in this odd way. I don't know how to explain it, but it has this different feeling than the rest of NARS products do. I'm not saying that the palette's not worth it, because the palette is definitely worth it. It's a gorgeous palette, but at the same time, it just has this weird feeling to it. I don't know whatever that formula is. And then that's the last of all of them, y'all. We just have a mess of palettes over here now. Okay, everybody, let me know, what did you think? Do you have some of the same palettes as me? You know, some of them were TJ Maxx palettes, so I know some of us do actually have the same ones and we got them from TJ Maxx. But all in all, you know, I feel like that collection has just, at some point it started to grow, and I didn't realize that it even needed its own drawer because it started to grow into something, and I was just like, whoa, what happened? And now I'm kind of realizing that it's even bigger than I had thought it was when I put it into that drawer, because when I go digging around, I start finding more and more things that fit that category of blush, bronze, highlight, all in one palette. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I like to see the collection grow, especially with nice things. Anyway, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, click the bell, and all those good things. Bye!